Hi everyone, so I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to talk about something probably might interest some of you guys, which is about being an influencer in Singapore. For the longest time I felt that this term influencers, or this kind of label that is given to digital creators, it has some kind of like a negative connotation attached to it, and I felt that most of the time, well, it might be true for some influencers, but not all of them. So as for myself, I actually don't really like to associate myself or even label myself as influencer because of that connotation. I rather see myself as a writer, as a blogger, as a digital content creator than calling myself an influencer. And to me, I also feel that I don't qualify that kind of status because of my small following that I had. And yeah, so that's why today I'm really going to share with you like some of the things that you probably didn't know about influencers, or some of the misconceptions. And I hope that you'll gain a better understanding of what it's like being influencer in Singapore. Even though I'm not that popular, but I do meet quite a lot of influencers through this journey of being a blogger slash digital content creator for the past 11 years. So a lot of you may not know, but I actually started this journey way longer, when it all first started, when blogging became really popular, and when the most popular blogger in the scene at the time was Xia Xue. And I think she started in 2003, when blogging it's gaining popularity. People started to write blogs, but at that time blogging actually was a form of like a online diary that people actually write, and then people would read. So it's more like a personal kind of platform where you get to exchange views, and I really enjoy that part where you can exchange your views, you can publicize your personal opinions, and then people can comment on it. So that's how I actually started, but I started a little later in 2010, and that's when the social media scene starts to kind of like it kind of like go big. It kind of develop and advance into what we have today, which is like like people talk about digital marketing, people talk about social media. And I just started there, and then 2010, and at that time it was pretty new. What I was writing about is just basically personal posts on my experiences, like travel experiences, about something that I really like a product that I really use. And at that time, people don't really give much recognition to those bloggers at that time. So most of us actually started blogging. And because Instagram only gained popularity a little later, like maybe in 2012 or 2013, that sort of thing. So so over the years I've really seen a lot, even though I'm not that top, like influencer sort of thing, but I do meet people who are very popular influencers today in Singapore. And not only that, but not only just meeting the influencers, but also working with like the PR agencies and brands. And many people do not know that actually when we work with brands, right, we actually work with the PR agencies first. So either the PR marketing or the side of another company, they usually represent the brand and to actually talk to us. So the brand themselves don't usually directly come to us when they approach us for like maybe product reviews or like sponsored posts and whatsoever. So I think many people do not really know that actually we don't work directly with brands, but maybe nowadays brands do approach us directly. But in the past, right, it's always about having this intermediary, which is the PR agencies. So we have the brands contacting the PR agency to represent their brand, and then the PR agency would actually contact us through emails and calls and stuff like that. So most of the time we don't usually work directly with brands, and because of that there could be some kind of miscommunication. So which is why today I'm going to just talk about the working relationships and some of the skill sets that we do have as an influencer. So the first thing that you may not know is that, okay, actually all of us do know, is that we are very obsessed with numbers, obsessed with it, because to us is about our it measures our effectiveness of being an influencer. So normal people who are not influencers, they're also obsessed with the numbers. But what about for us influencers who are depending on that numbers to gain more sponsorships or more money, you know, to earn for a living? So actually, that to us, it's could be a kind of like a pressure, and it's really not easy because, as you know, that when your followers are very small, you are kind of pressured to buy followers, and this buying of like followers, it gains a bit of traction when people discovered about it, when people know that, hey, actually you can like buy and gain followers on Instagram. Actually, it all started with Instagram. I'm not too sure, but when Instagram started, it has a lot of this funny tactics that that was introduced into this like influencer and media industry that kind of like drag us down a little bit, because when we are doing blogging, right, you can't really cheat the number of like visitors and unique unique visitors or like views in a blog. There's like no way to cheat on that. At most, it's just people just entering your website, that sort of thing. That there is like no way that you can actually cheat on the numbers. But with Instagram, you can. So people do actually buy followers, and to be really honest, a lot of us bought followers at some point in time. So maybe some of them might have bought, and then after that, when they gain enough traction or when they get enough following, they will stop buying. And to be very honest, I also disclosed before that I kind of felt pressured into buying in it, because one of my some of my influencer friends, they shared that that it's very effective when you purchase followers, and after that you can stop anytime. So that was what I was thinking. I was thinking, I had a healthy following on my Instagram at that time, was about like maybe about 2,000, or maybe up to, I can't remember, was it 2,000 or 3,000? And then I feel like, hey, I felt this pressure, and I feel that I really regret for doing all this actually. So I felt this pressure of wanting to expand my following. So I actually bought, and it's very easy, and it's like cheap. Maybe like you can just spend like $5-7, and what they do is that they will just send bots to follow, unfollow. But after using some time, I felt that it's not sustainable, and it's not real, because these people just follow. I mean, you have a large following, but they don't exactly like your posts. And some of them do actually discover and say that, hey, why are you using this tactic? Your content is great. Like, why do you have to resort to this? So after that, I was like telling myself, no, this is a large mistake. It's a very huge mistake ever that I made in my journey of becoming an influencer. I deleted the account. I started fresh, because I feel that there is no point for me being like everyone else who are just after and seeking numbers. And I just closed down my account and I started fresh. And till now, my Instagram account is really small, but I don't really care anymore at this point. I feel that it's great that this influencer sphere has changed a little bit. People don't just value the macro influencers, they kind of value the micro influencers, people who have a smaller following but have a greater impact because they are seen as more approachable. I don't know whether you know about this, but there are some kind of like I don't know whether it's WhatsApp group. I can't remember, was it WhatsApp group or like Facebook community where bloggers can actually join, and then what happens is that they will comment on each other posts to gain more traction to the post. Because as you know that for the algorithm for Instagram is this, if you have more people posting it, they will kind of boost it. It's very similar to other platforms like TikTok as well. So I can't remember. I think I joined for a while, and then after that I find that it's very tiring to like just comment on people's posts even though you don't feel like it. Sometimes people just comment like, hey, nice, great shot, fun, creative, and I felt that that's pointless, so I just left the group. But I can't remember, what was it, a WhatsApp group or what, but I believe it is still happening now, because when I was looking at some of my some of the influencers that I know, their Instagram accounts still have that kind of comments where I just say like, oh, nice, great. It's very obvious that it's being like false, and then the people who actually commented on them are influencers themselves. They're not like normal people. Yeah. I think that people may not know is that some brands can be very, very difficult to work with. They have a lot of requests. It's not that we're trying to be fake or try to be dishonest in any way, but sometimes when we work with brands, they don't really state their terms and conditions very clearly. So they want us to say things like, can you please give a positive review of my product? While some brands are pretty nice, they will say like, I'll give you this product. And then if you find it good, you write. If you don't really like it or you don't enjoy it, you can just give us some feedback. And if you choose not to post, and then yeah, then that's it's okay. So that's how usually how they actually work with traditional medias in the past, is that a lot of these companies or PR agencies, they will just send products to like magazines or like news media, and then the news media themselves, they will choose whether is it worth publishing or not. You know, they have the autonomy to do that. But with influencers and bloggers, I don't know, the brands just feel that we are obliged to do it because we are receiving something. We call that like barter trade, or barter trade or media trade, whereby if they feel that, you know, if I give you something, you need to give me a post in exchange, and it needs to be positive. And there are experiences, but very few, luckily for myself, is that I met with brands who can be quite nasty in a sense, because you know, I'm just writing a post about how I feel, for example, about food. So I remember particularly about this food review that I did with it's not even a restaurant, it's just like a store in a food court. And basically they're not happy with the way I described the food. I didn't even describe the food in a negative way. I actually just said that, you know, that how I just described the taste, and I'll just say that I didn't say it's very, very delicious also. So usually what happens is that if the food is not very nice, I wouldn't say it's very nice. I would just say, you know, this is savory, this is tangy, and stuff like that. So that is why nowadays when I do food reviews, right, I try not to go for those media invites kind of thing. I actually do my research first on Google before I visit that place and do a proper food review. So that's what I learned. Anyway, back to that story was that so they actually send me emails through the PR agencies asking me to edit my post. And it's not just once, you know. I mean if it's once, it's fine. If there's a spelling error, sometimes I do make mistakes, or maybe I didn't get some of the facts correct. I mean, it's fine, you know, once. But this company actually, or rather this food store, the owner actually came to me like 3 to 4 times and wanting me to edit my post, and plus asking me to put like positive words about their food. And I find that it's not true to myself. So what happened was that I couldn't stand it. I mean, I just acceded to their request, I acceded to the request. And then after that, a few months later, I just took down the post, because it's pointless for me to be putting up a review that doesn't reflect my beliefs and values of being an influencer. So there are some of the things that, you know, can be not very not very pleasant experiences. And not only just brands, but also like the PR agencies we work with. Some of them didn't really know how to kind of like have a relationship with us. They don't really know like what influencers want and things like that. And sometimes, you know, there are times whereby I just go for food reviews, and then there's not enough food tastings, and then there's not enough food for the bloggers and the influencers. And like, you know, when this happened, like, what do you expect us to write about? And sometimes people just forget that actually influencers and bloggers, even though whether you're large following or small following, we do have a voice. We do have power in a sense. Actually, not only just us, actually just random people on the street also. They do have, with the social media platform, there's power. People can just make a complaint, and then many people will just share, like the post, and then it will gain a lot of attention. So I don't know about that, but I just feel that, you know, if you just anger one of the bloggers or any influencers, we can just easily go to our platforms and just, you know, complain. I mean, of course, we shouldn't abuse that influence or platform that we have, but, you know, I just feel that yeah, there should be some kind of mutual understanding. I mean, that explains why like some brands and PR agencies, they're really, really very nice to the people working in the media industry, the professionals, like those working for magazines or actual journalists or writers. They're actually very, very nice to them, because they know that if they kind of like anger them or step on their feet, on their foot or whatsoever, they know that the article may turn out not very nice, or they may not get featured. you know, there's all this human factor that kind of influence the way how media was being being presented as it is today, that many people may not know, is that there's a lot of bias and all these things that are going on.